Hi there and welcome to my heavy duty torture chamber. Today is going to be the second workout from the Ideal program from Mike Mentzer. Did this already many years ago when I had to reinvent my way of working while training because I started a new job, freaking heavy, so I could not train anymore how I was used to, just because of my recovery ability. So I'm going to start all over again with the Ideal program. So this is the second workout. First workout was the chest and the back, and today I'm going to train my legs. I had about 5 days rest, so everything is recovered again. Inflammation is down in my chest and in my back, and so time to work my legs. First exercise is going to be a calf raise. Second exercise is going to be a time static contraction with an adductor muscles inside of your thighs. Third exercise is going to be a hex squat, and the last exercise is going to be a variation of a leg curl. I do not have any leg curl machine here. I'm working in my dungeon, no machines here, only free weights, so I'm going to do that. You're going to find out when you watch the whole video. Of course you're going to watch the whole video, and you're not going to skip to the end to see what I'm doing. You watch the whole video and see how everything is organically go from one to another. So I'm going to check my cardiovascular system. I want to train it, so I want to train with as least rest as possible. I do not want to let my heart rate drop below 120 before I start with the next exercise. With this, you always keep your pace, you always keep your heart rate up, putting everything under a certain stress, and you improve your cardiovascular system over time. So, let's start. So, first exercise is done, calf raise. Now the second and the third exercise as a pre-exhaust. First exercise is going to be an adductor exercise. I'm going to do it with a time static contraction. Second exercise is going to be the hex squat. Whenever you do a pre-exhaust exercise protocol, then do the warm-up with the second exercise. The second exercise is most of the time, if you do it correctly, a compound exercise which uses multiple muscle groups. In this case, it's going to be the squat. So I'm going to warm up with the squat till I'm done. Feel that everything is in place, everything is good. I'm not going to tear a muscle, I'm not going to break a joint, I'm not going to whatever is going to happen. And then I'm going to do my first workout, time static contraction, adductor, and then immediately after that the squat. So let's warm up the quads and the hips and the back and the glutes and hamstrings and what have you not. So now for the next exercise, I warmed up with my squats. I have my trusty kicking pad from my kickboxing times. Happy that I still have it. Put it between my knees and squeeze it as hard as I can to build the inner thighs. I do this with a time static contraction, so that means for the first 15 seconds I'm going to squeeze it for 50% of my strength. About, of course, I don't know what is 50%, just how I feel. The second part is again 15 seconds, I squeeze it for 75%. And then the last 30 seconds I start ramping up the intensity, squeeze it harder. And for the last 10-15 seconds I squeeze it as hard as I can. When I finish this, I put my trusty timer for the 2-5 cadence for the next exercise, and that's going to be a hex squat. So let's start. For the timing, I have a clock and I start when I feel ready. Third and last exercise. It's the exercise for the hamstrings. Leg curl. Told you already before how to do a leg curl. When you do not have a leg curl machine, you can do, of course, time static contractions. You have to find some way to make the bounce and do the exercise. Maybe in the future I'm going to figure out what is the most economical way to do this. You can use, of course, resistance bands. I'm going to do it in a very old-fashioned way, anyway, old-fashioned for me, because when we were younger and we didn't have any leg curl machine, or somebody else was using it, we had to invent something else, and this is what we're going to do. So for the next exercise, it's going to be the promised leg curl. Do not have a leg curl machine here, so I have to figure out what to do, and I found out years ago this little exercise. What you need is a cushion cushion so your knees have some place to rest on and do their job. I do not suggest to do this on the ground because it's just too harmful for your knees. Your knees can't go anywhere, and it's moving, of course, a moving joint. And if it can't go anywhere, it's going to be harmful for your knees. So cushion you need, and something to counterbalance yourself and lock yourself, your heels anyway, that it doesn't go anywhere. As you're going to see in the beginning, my range of motion is not that great, because this is the first time I do it with the barbell and the cushion, so I have to just find out what is the best way, and join me on this journey to find out what is the best way. Maybe I'm going to make some contraption, some system to hook my heels better. So let's start. So what you do is brace your legs, brace your heels behind the object. Put your knees on the cushion and just let your body move forward as far as you can. Maybe touch your head on the ground and move upwards. Do not worry too much about the range of motion. Well, many people think that range of motion is very important. If it was that important, then why time static contractions work where you have no range of motion at all? It's about contracting the muscles until they no longer can contract with the weight that you're using. I'm not going too far in to failure with this one because it's the first time I do this exercise. And that's it. And going to failure too far will only wreck my system and does not give any real benefits other than I can't walk for a few days.